peace deal that could end a year of war in the Middle East, a 60-day countdown that just started. And today, the first major crisis that threatened to blow it all apart. This is everything you need to know about the U.S. Iran agreement and what happened today. If you've been watching the news, you know this much. The United States and Iran signed a deal this week, but do you know what's actually in it? Here's the quick version. In June of 2025, a war broke out between the U.S., Israel, and Iran. 12 days of airstrikes and missile attacks that killed more than 1,000 people and shut down the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow passage that roughly a fifth of the world's daily oil supply passes through. Prices spiked, markets panicked, and then a year of quiet diplomacy followed. This week, specifically June 17th and 18th, President Trump and Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian signed a 14-point memorandum of understanding in what's being called one of the most significant diplomatic agreements in recent memory. That's why this name is everywhere right now. But today, something went wrong. The first round of nuclear talks, scheduled for Switzerland, was called off. Here's why. Let's start with what is actually confirmed, sourced to named mainstream outlets. CBS News published the full MOU text, and NPR, CNN, and NBC News independently verified it. The agreement has 14 key points. Point 1, an immediate and permanent end to all military operations, including in Lebanon. Point 2, the U.S. will fully remove its naval blockade of Iranian ports within 30 days of signing. Point 3, Iran will guarantee free commercial passage through the Strait of Hormuz for at least 60 days. That is the waterway that moves roughly 1/5 of the world's daily oil supply. Point 4, the U.S. Treasury issued immediate export waivers for Iranian crude. Iranian oil can now legally hit global markets. Point 5, Iran's frozen foreign assets worth hundreds of billions get released. Point 6, all U.S. sanctions on Iran get terminated on a schedule tied to a final deal. Point 7, Iran formally reaffirms it will never develop nuclear weapons. And the core framework, both governments have up to 60 days, extendable by mutual consent, to negotiate a final comprehensive peace treaty. Mediators, Pakistan, Oman, and Italy. Oil markets have already moved. According to CNBC, Brent crude has dropped more than 20% from its 2026 peak, landing around $78 a barrel this week, its lowest since March. This deal is real, but as of today, it is under stress. Now here's where today's news gets complicated, and I want to be clear. This situation is still moving as of this recording, June 20th, 2026. The MOU set up a 60-day window for nuclear talks. Those talks were supposed to kick off this week in Switzerland at the Bergenstock Resort. Vice President J.D. Vance was scheduled to fly there. Then overnight, fighting erupted again in southern Lebanon. Hezbollah fired more than 50 rockets at Israeli troops. Israel responded with airstrikes on the southern Lebanese towns of Nabatea and surrounding villages. The Times of Israel reports at least 7 people were killed, including 2 children. Both sides accused the other of violating the ceasefire first. Israel blamed Hezbollah, Hezbollah blamed Israel. The Swiss Foreign Ministry confirmed the negotiations have been postponed. Bloomberg reports Vance canceled his trip. That is a direct hit to the 60-day clock. Here is the late-breaking update from today. Per PBS NewsHour, Israel and Hezbollah have renewed their ceasefire. Fighting has paused. Whether that holds, not confirmed. Whether Switzerland talks get rescheduled and when, not confirmed. What is confirmed, the MOU between the U.S. and Iran remains in effect. The Strait of Hormuz is open. The ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran holds. The nuclear details, that part is still completely up in the air. Let me give you the backstory because you needed to understand why this MOU matters so much. June 2025, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu launched what he called Operation Rising Lion, strikes on Iran's main nuclear enrichment facility at Natanz and parts of its ballistic missile program. The U.S. joined with its own strikes on Iranian nuclear sites. Iran retaliated, firing 14 missiles at Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, where U.S. forces are stationed. No American casualties from that attack, but over 12 days of conflict Britannica puts the total death toll at more than 1,190 people, 436 of them civilians. A ceasefire was brokered June 24, 2025. Then nearly a year of back-channel diplomacy through Pakistan, Oman, and Italy produced this week's MOU. This agreement is the product of a year of work. It is not a final peace treaty. It is a 60-day runway to try to negotiate one. Here's OOUCHI'S take, and I want to be clear, what follows is opinion. The MOU is more real than I think a lot of people realize. The Strait of Hormuz is literally open right now. Iranian oil is moving. Gas prices in the U.S. have already responded. That's not spin, that's CNBC market data. But the deal is also more fragile than the optimists want to admit. Lebanon is the fuse. Hezbollah doesn't move in perfect lockstep with Tehran, and as long as fighting there continues, it hands Iranian hardliners a reason to walk away from a deal that many of them already hate. The 60-day window is real. It's ticking. The nuclear question, how much highly enriched uranium Iran keeps, and whether it can ever enrich again, that is the centerpiece of whatever final deal they're trying to build. Nobody has publicly agreed on it yet. Every day without talks in Geneva is a day that window gets thinner. Here's what you need to know. The U.S. Iran MOU is signed and in effect right now, permanent ceasefire. Strait of Hormuz open, naval blockade coming down in 30 days, Iranian oil flowing. Today, the Switzerland nuclear talks were postponed after Lebanon fighting killed at least 7 people. Late today, Israel and Hezbollah renewed their ceasefire per PBS NewsHour. The 60-day window for a final deal is ticking. The nuclear details, Iran's enriched uranium stockpile, future enrichment rights, completely unresolved. This story moves every day. We break it down every day. Developing news summary based on reporting from NPR, CBS News, CNN, NBC News, PBS NewsHour, Bloomberg, CNBC, and the Times of Israel as of June 20th, 2026. The peace process is ongoing. Check for updates. This story doesn't sit still. Tomorrow I'm breaking down the World Cup group stage, which teams are already through, who's on the bubble, and what the June 21st matches mean for the bracket. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it.